Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just chilling on this bench here. You saw the field already. You saw how the place is and everything. Yeah, so I'm going to talk to you guys quickly about another movie, which is Aquaman. So Aquaman is right now the third highest grossing DCEU movie. Just past Suicide Squad, so kudos to it on that. And it is the fifth highest grossing DC movie of all time. So kudos to Aquaman and that. James Wan did a good job. They are breaking a lot of records and they're coming closer and closer to doing some fantastic things. Don't ever think that it'll make $400 million like Wonder Woman, but hey, if it gets anywhere close to passing Batman v Superman, so that it becomes the highest grossing, well, second highest grossing DCEU movie and fourth highest grossing DC movie, that would be again another pretty good achievement for it. So, you know, we are happy about that. Let's talk a little bit more about, again, the gospel. I'm going to take about 2 minutes, not too much longer for you guys on that. So, peace to everybody, deuces to everybody. And I was looking at the gospel, you know, and I was talking to you guys, or I will be talking to you guys about, you know, the Christian walk and how counterintuitive it actually is. You know, so as I chillax here and I take in some R&R, I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about the Christian experience. You know, I'm going to start off with God is greater than our hearts, if our hearts condemn us. You know, a lot of us, in aspiring to walk in the way of Jesus Christ and stuff, that's the westward in the background, and trying to walk in the way of Jesus Christ, man, we fall and we slip. And you know, there's a scripture that talks about that. It says, if your hearts condemn us, God is greater than our hearts, and he knows all. So even when you slip and fall, man, God is greater than that, and he can actually allow you to get a second chance and even erase your past. And I think that's pretty awesome, especially for people who have emotional baggage or emotional damage. And sometimes it's not them that slips and falls in terms of doing the wrong thing or instigating the wrong thing, but then they slip and fall emotionally or mentally by carrying certain baggage that they should probably have let go and let God. And so emotionally they carry these things, they get ill, and then they die from those things. So it was showing in 1 John chapter 3, you should check it out. I think it's verses 20 to 23, how God is greater than our hearts. And then it goes on to say, and if our hearts don't condemn us, then we know God, we trust in God, and because of that, he answers every single prayer that we ask. And I think that's really awesome. There's another piece of scripture that talks about, you know, how God answers your prayers, but also if you ask him to forgive you, but you haven't forgiven others, he's not going to forgive you. So you should ensure that you forgive others. And in forgiving others, you bring about healing, not just for yourself, but for the other person. So I wanted to stress on that because I think a lot of people carry a lot of emotional baggage on them, and they have a lot of emotional stressors. And I thought that this would be something that I want to share with you guys, that you can take your problems to God, take it to him, and he can heal you, you know, and then you do the necessary that is necessary for you to do with other people so that you can get some of that baggage, that load off of yourself, right? There's one more thing I wanted to talk about. So I talked to you guys, or maybe talking to you guys in the next video, about how the walk in the kingdom is different to the walk that we've been walking as Christians or otherwise in the secular. What do I mean by that? I think a lot of us are comfortable. Like, I'm comfortable right now, very comfortable. I have clothes on me. You know, I'm fed. When I run to, I'll drink some water because I'm a little dehydrated, but I'm very comfortable, right? But when you're walking in the spirit, when you're walking in the kingdom walk, everything suits the purpose of the kingdom. So you're seeking first the kingdom, and then everything else that you need to be able to carry out the task that you have to carry out is added to you. And this is not something Jesus is just talking to us as if he never walked it. That's what he did religiously. And he was in contact with the Father religiously. Early in the morning, before everybody got up, he was there talking with the Father. And whenever he could find a time alone, he would talk with the Father. And Jesus made it like a almost a routine to go into the wilderness or some mountain or something to pray. Okay, that was his routine, away from people. So a lot of times people may say to some of us that you being a hermit, or you're being somebody who's not, you're avoiding people. Well, Jesus didn't try to avoid people. They followed him. It's something, again, that's counterintuitive for me. If I see, I want quiet time, I want quiet time. But Jesus was not like that. He didn't turn back nobody. Okay. Nonetheless, Jesus would always try to find these secluded places where he could commune with his Father exclusively. And here's one more thing. So there's a bunch of stuff I want to tell you guys that I learned. Another thing I noticed is when Jesus is asking people to watch and pray, like, so much I want to say, but watch and pray anyway. I noticed that those people usually fell asleep. So he'd ask you to watch and pray, and that's the hour you feel tired or sleepy. I know sometimes when I want to pick up the word and actually read something, I actually fall asleep trying to read the word. I thought that was happening. Spiritual warfare, pretty much. So, it's a lot to learn, it's a lot to gather, and it's a lot to process, but nonetheless, in the Christian walk, it's a little bit different, okay? A lot of people talk about relying on God, but they have limits to it, and even I have limits to it, I can tell you that. So, I tell you these things, people, these are things to aspire towards. It's not something that just comes overnight. I'll just let you know that, so don't feel a how about it. But when you walk with God, and you start to walk with God more and more, you begin to realize how much depending on him is not a luxury, but it is actually a necessity. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. Hope you guys have a great day. Blessings. There's another video coming behind this one.